Hi everyone and welcome to our video release for our Herbal Garden collection. As you can see from this beautiful rendition of the kit that you're going to look at, there is so much in this kit that you are going to love. Obviously, Herbal Garden in the name, it is, you're going to see a lot of the herbs and stuff that you see in garden and cooking and things like that, but it also is a lot of play on words. You're going to see a lot of things that are meant towards friendship or growth or things like that. You know, there is a lot of stuff in here that you're going to see. It's not just gardening themed, you know, so there's going to be a lot of options in here for you. So if you're just joining us at the beginning of the video, it's worth staying for to see the entire kit. So before we get into the kit, this is our bundled herbal garden, and it does include all 5 products, all 5 coordinated products, which is our FQB, our 2 additional paper packs, our Alpha, and our additional elements pack, which is our Lil Bits. All 5 products are included when you purchase the one, and you do save 20% in purchasing it in the bundled form versus buying each item individually. So let's go ahead and have a look and see exactly what this all entails. So as I mentioned earlier, there you are with the garden theme, right? So obviously with the Herbal Garden, you are going to see that. But you grow girl. This is what I was talking about earlier with the play on words, right? Sage advice. So it's a gardening theme with the play on words. I don't know, you know, many ways you can state that. But as you can see, there's a lot of ways that you can take this kit. Don't think of it, like I said, only as a gardening kit. The beautiful, beautiful colors of this as well will be really inspiring for you. There's some really cool background papers in here, and here's the start of them with the herb notes that Mary Fran has done. Look at that. It is absolutely fantastic. You see the different spices and the different herbs, but also what a little bit of meaning things to them, the newsprint backgrounds, all those things work together to give it such a unique and visually interesting appeal. Here is the herbs back. So as you can see by reading it, there's a lot of the herbs in there, but you're going to see how I use that in the card making idea at the end. And oh wow, it turns out just fabulous. It's a really great thing to add to any of your cards, your layouts, whatever it is that you're creating with this. Here's also the leaf background paper, a really unique, beautiful paper that is an inspirational paper. One to kind of sort of start with, if you will, where you're like, okay, love that paper. Now, how do I build on that? Which one of these do I choose? And how do I coordinate? And where do I go with this? A loose leaf paper. Obviously, if we're in the gardening thing, you know, you're probably going to want to do some journaling things. You have to remember when you planted it, how you planted it, whatever. Or you want to journal about memories. Whether you're using this in a mini album, you want to have journal areas. Whether you're using it in a layout where you want to journal about the photos that were there, things like that. So many things that you can do this with, right? Here's the newsprint backs. And again, in all the colors. So no matter what your creative vision is, you're going to have that in a color that hopefully that you wanted to work with so that you can create exactly what you saw, customize it, what you saw in your mind's eye. The other patterns like this squares pattern, really unique, really interesting, something that's different, right? Obviously. And something different is really nice to have. Big ticking. Look at how different this is with the colored stripe in here. Again, a fabulous background paper. Pick the one that inspires you and start to work with it. That'll give you a color range to start with, and then that way you can pair in your main elements and so on and so forth. As well as the weave, so you've got great intricate backgrounds and you've got great simplistic backgrounds to pair together. The buttons, very unique looking, very detailed. A lot of interest in this kit. This kit has that collage feel, and I'm going to show you Mary Fran's layout inspiration at the end as well. So with the collage feel, there is a lot of interest. There's a lot going on, and it really, you want to sit there and really take this in. You want to really look at it with your eye. Here's a calendar item. Again, think of the uses that you could have this with. Maybe these are little tick boxes, and you have something else written up on top. Days of the week to plant. Maybe it's for something in your journal, right? Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant. Maybe you're doing something. Maybe it's for fitness. Maybe it's a personal improvement thing that you're doing. So you want to have it as little check boxes like, yeah, I did that today. you know, things like that. Use your imagination. The imagination is key to everything, isn't it? Circle with a bumblebee in it. Isn't that great? Some frames, again, with well embellished. Mary Fran does such a great job creating things for us that are ready to use. This bloom with your frame, so you can put a photo in here, you can put a main element in here, you can put a background paper behind it and just use it as an element by itself. Whatever you want to do, you can put the loose leaf behind here and journal in here. But you are starting out with an embellishment that is already done for you. You just choose how you want to use it. And again, so well done so that you can get to the creating portion. Now, Mary Fran has also left a few that are blank. So you're going to see this, which is a little plainer. Maybe that's what you were going for, but you can embellish it yourself. Take a look at these words, grow. Well, why couldn't you use these words, grow, put them on the top here, and there you go. You've created your own embellishment and customized it exactly the way you want it. So hearts, again, the feeling of love, the feeling of that spirit and stuff. Maybe that's a love of plants, a love of wisdom, a love of yourself, a love of someone else, or maybe it's a love of the plants, whatever you have. The herb cards. You're going to see again, I'm going to show you my card making idea at the end. This is what inspired me in the kit. I saw these and thought these were absolutely stunning. So I knew I had to use this. So I chose that first and then paired it up with background papers after that. But here it is. And as you can see, Mary Fran did them very simple, very classy, very vintage. I'm hoping you see and love them every bit as much as I did. The herb clusters, again, you saw that on a background paper where they were all put on a background paper. Here they are individually, because maybe there's one you're talking about. This is for your friend, and you're talking and want to give them credit for the strength that they had, or maybe it's for Mother's Day or your mom's birthday, and were so strong, and you want to tell them that. Here it is, right? Everything is included in here in terms of the visual interest as well as the garden-y type theme that goes along with it. So many of these herb clusters, you choose the one that speaks to you and gives you the inspiration in order to go forward. These journal labels, here's a blank one to start for you, but you can see here are the ones Mary Fran filled in for you, and look at how classic and vintage that is. Isn't that gorgeous? That just reminds you of, when you see the word vintage, this is what I think of, right? This is the quintessential vintage. And here you have, again, such great phrases for you already done. You just pop that in. Journal mats, again, great additional embellishments to use where you have the lines here so you can keep your personalized printing every bit as professional and quality looking as the rest of this stuff, but very useful elements. Journal strips in blank, again, we want you to be able to highlight things, whether that's a feeling, an emotion, a phrase, a date, a place, whatever it is, and you can put those on before you print the tag. You can use that digitally and then print it as is, or write them on yourself, because I know we all have all kinds of different kinds of pens and things that we want to do, and that gives it its personalization as well. Label, don't stop believing, and some leaves. How apropos, following each other. Individual elements, again, that you can design and have a fully customized layout or mini album or journal page, whatever it is that you're creating. Lickety split. So this is actually the scrapbooking layout that Mary Fran did, had her own personalized photo in this, but this is the layout. So you actually get it. And all you do is you can place your photo in behind this and print it out, or whatever it is you want to do with it. But this is a quick page. You know, there's many different names for them. It's a pre-made scrapbooking layout page. You simply pop your photo in, put in some of the blank, whether that's a word label or things like that, so that you can personalize, whether that, like again I said before, a name, a date, or whatever it is, and there you have it. You're already done. Great little arrows. Again, fabulous elements in order to add that visual interest that you're looking for, and in many different colors and styles, so you're sure to actually get one that you were looking for. Same thing with the paper strips. Aren't those great? The torn vintage look to them, the torn edges on them, everything works together in many, many different colors so that it works with the vision that you have and the colors that you chose to work with. You've got all kinds of things. Phrase strips that you, again, if these have the sayings on them that you're meaning to say, that conveys what you're meaning to go with, awesome. You just pop those right in. If you're having a bit of a, let's call it writer's block or creative block, use those as, hey, that's the theme I wanted to work with. That's great. That can start you off, and obviously you can use the tag as well, but it gives you a little bit of something, again, a place to start. Here are some digital stamps. Again, for those of you that are new to us, the digital stamps work exactly like a stamp as you would use with the physical polymer stamps that you have used in the past in physical world. You use these by placing it on any background paper, over any photo, whatever you want to do. You put it on digitally, then you print it, and it is on there permanently. Everything behind here is opaque, so there is no background showing through. It's not white behind it or anything like that. It is actually just opaque. Certified Garden Girl, she knows the best dirt. So again, play on words, works well into everything that you would want to create for that garden-y or garden-themed sort of creation. Great, there's a few of them here, so you have a lot of options to choose from. And then you have some stickers of the different herbs that are out there, so you can place those in. Again, personalize it, customize it. You are going to have your own creation. Tags, again, Mary Fran has put in a great embellishment already on the tag, so it works. And again, you'll see how I use this as is in my card making idea, but it also leaves you a vacant space here and a blank space that you can write in, whether that be journaling, whether that be a little bit of a photo, or you wanted to add further embellishments to it. You do have that option there. And lastly is some washi tape. So just little strips that you can use. And again, I'm going to show you how to use these when I use them in my card making idea in order to give yourself little hits of color and texture to give you a little bit more interest. Lastly is watering cans. Who has a gardening kit without a watering can, right? And there they are for you there. So there's the FQB. Our little bits, which is the additional elements pack, contains even more finished embellishments for you that you can easily pop in, you can quickly create without having to do all the work yourself. Now, there are more journal tags here, and again, sift through these. Same thing with the labels. Sift through these for ideas where you're like, wow, I got so many ideas, but I don't know where to start. This is a great way to do it, right? You might say all natural beauty, 100% all natural, and you look at this and you think, this is for my sister. I always admired that about her. She always did this so well, and she made a beautiful home. Whether she did that for herself, I always thought she was a natural beauty. What a great place to start, right? You pop that in, and then it gives you a color palette to work with. It gives you your theme, and off to the races you go. Lastly are the tabs. Work great if you're making a photo album, work great if you're making a mini album, but also work great in a card. Think about how you can use those in a card. There's so many ways to do this, where it's like a pull-out tab. So that means you can make the card a little different, where you have a slot that you can slide something out of. Maybe it's for a gift card, whatever it is. There is so many ideas. Again, creativity is your key. So that's everything in the little bits. Moving on to the 2 paper pack. As always with our additional paper packs, you have seen these patterns before, but not in these colors. So you do not get any duplicates by buying an additional paper pack. It gives you more options is what it's doing. A lot of you, you've sent us emails and left us comments. You like to make multiple things. A kit is not just to make one card, one layout, or one journal. You use it multiple times over and over the years. And that is the point of having these, is you can make things that coordinate but are not exactly the identical thing. Nobody wants to make the same thing over and over again. The solids, again, the solids are great standalone background papers. You can embellish this however you want. Let me get you to here. You can see this a little more clearly with the border edge around it. So it's a great, simple background paper. So if you are that creative person, or today is a creative streak for you, imagine this, where you're putting your own embellishments on, you're putting your own photos in, you just want to start with a blank slate. Or if you want to use these to back your photos like you would cardstock, to back papers and main elements and photos, this is why we have the solid paper pack for each of the kit, is you get the 100% color coordinated, let's call it digital cardstock. so that way you can create, and as you always have in physical paper, but you have that cardstock to use for this kit. Lastly is our alpha, a great alpha. If you watch for the font, look at the font as I scroll by here. It is a really unique and interesting looking font. It's a really, again, visual interest, right? Like, look at that 7. Isn't that just a great way? It's a great font, and Mary Fran has done it in the beautiful teal of this kit, but also with that white edge around it. They call it a stroke or a bordered edge. That just gives it a lot of pizzazz and a lot of personality. Not only is the font itself a really interesting look, but you have that personality with the stroke that's around it as well. So again, for those of you that have never used the alpha, I challenge you to do it. Use it because it gives you so much extra punch that you use in order to do names, dates, places, emotions, somebody's initials, whatever it is. The alpha gives you that to enunciate or to really highlight that certain thing on your layouts and cards. So lastly, as I mentioned to you before, here is that scrapbook quick page that you actually get in the FQB, and that you happen to be the photo is one of our dogs in the patch. So that's how it turned out with a photo in it and things like that. And the card, here is, remember I said before, I chose the leaf background paper and the background paper with the newsprint on it. I couldn't resist the two, right? They just spoke to me when I was going through. But so did that card. There is the sage, and that herb label just really grabbed me as I was scrolling through and seeing Mary Fran create it. But here's how I used the washi tape to add in a little bit of color. When everything was a little plain and a little monochromatic, I wanted to add a little bit of color. That's how I did it, by using the washi tape strips. Lastly, here is the tag. Now that tag is exactly as it comes to you. I didn't do anything to it. I simply placed it in because I thought it gave a lot of extra interest and enhanced what was going on in here. So thanks for tuning into our video. I hope you enjoyed seeing the whole Herbal Garden collection, so that gives you a better idea of what is all included in it and what parts and pieces. Did you want to buy the bundle? Did you want just the kit and the little bits? What was it that you wanted out of it? Now you'll know to make a proper purchase decision for yourself. Before you leave us and head off to our store to get this kit for yourself, be sure to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the Knitwit Collections logo in the bottom right corner of the screen here, and that'll let you know every time we have a new video produced. As well, give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, let us know what you thought of the kit. Let us know what you were going to do with it. Hopefully you saw some inspiration here as I was scrolling through, and you got some ideas, got your creative juices going, so that way you're ready to hit the ground running here with this kit. Thanks once again, and happy creating with Herbal Garden.